Lagos has always been a trailblazer and one of the most talked about cities when it comes to infrastructure, industry and commerce in Nigeria. In the last 2 decades, successive governments have contributed immensely towards the advancement of Lagos. And with Governor Babajide SANWO-OLU at the helm of affairs, the state many have referred to as the center of excellence has continued to witness tremendous growth in all sectors of the economy. Welcome to Inside Lagos. I'm Adedoja. Salam Adeni.
Ẹni tí ò dé kò yìn ẹkù kan. Àwa ni center of excellence. Ẹni ò dé kò yìn ẹkù kan. Àwa ni center of excellence. Mo ní pé bó o bá dé kò yìn ẹkù kan. Àwa ni center of excellence. Àwọn òyìnbó débẹ̀ wọ́n rí tá a jẹ́ ṣe. Àwa ni center of excellence. Haúsá débẹ̀ wọ́n rí tá a jẹ́ ṣe. Àwa ni center of excellence. Àwọn Ìgbò débẹ̀ wọ́n rí tá a jẹ́ ṣe. Àwa ni center of excellence. Gbogbo Yorùbá débẹ̀ wọ́n rí tí wọ́n mú lọ. Àwa ni center of excellence. Ẹni òde kò yìn ẹkù kan. Èkó ò ní bàjẹ́ lórí àwa. Àwa ni center of excellence. Ọ̀pọ̀ ò bá dé kò yìn ẹkù kan.
The last few weeks have been very busy for Governor Babajide SANWO-OLU in his quest to deliver the dividends of democracy to Lagos residents, with rounds of inspection tours of ongoing projects across the state. Inside Lagos captures some salient moments of this strategic tour. Take a listen. An exercise for an intensive inspection of the ongoing infrastructural upgrade in Lagos Island. Last Wednesday, it turned into a homecoming event for Governor Babajide SANWO-OLU as a tumultuous crowd of residents trooped out to welcome the governor back to his home base. Governor SANWO-OLU, who hails from Lagos Island East Local Council Development Area, was in the community to inspect the progress of the ongoing construction of Tapa Okepopo Streets at Adeniji Road and the construction of the new 10-story MASSEY Street Children's Hospital. The tour literally turned into a rally when the residents, in showing their appreciation for the projects, joined the governor on a walk from Adeniji Road into adjoining streets. SANWO-OLU was in the company of members of the state cabinet and top government functionaries. Inspecting the road projects, Governor SANWO-OLU expressed satisfaction with the pace of work, but urged the contractor to take the advantage of the good weather to scale up construction activities and deliver the projects at the end of the year. Adeniji Road, before its expansion and dualization, used to be a single lane. The construction of the road deteriorated due to perennial flooding. The upgrade project, which is at 65% completion, now has interlocked breaks with leaded and channelized drainage to address water overflow. At the new MASSEY Street Children's Hospital, Commissioner for Health, Professor Akin Abayomi conducted the governor round the site where the 547 piling caps required to raise the hospital structure fully had been completed.
The contractor on site did mention to us that the project is about 60-65% and that they are on track to see if they can complete the project before the end of the year. We've seen some part of it. Interlocking stones have been laid. The drainages have largely been completed, and the whole area looks new. Thereafter, we went to inspect the construction at the new MASSEY Children's Hospital, where we noticed the two buildings that are meant to be coming up. The 9-story car park by Messrs. Dory had started. They're on the 3rd floor. However, the main hospital construction for the MASSEY Children's Hospital, all the 547 caps, piling caps have been completed, and the contractor too has moved to site. So that's the 10-story new Children's Hospital that is coming up. And they've assured us that they will work even doubly hard to keep up with the terms of the project.
Governor SANWO-OLU also led the team to Ilubiri, where a flood protection channel is being built by the Ministry of the Environment and Water Resources to address water backflow to low-plain areas in the city.
This is the Ministry of Environment, Ministry of Drainage project, and we're able to observe and see that where we have the current temporary wall, and you could see pumping going on, this retention wall is to prevent the backflow of water from the Lagos Lagoon flowing back into the Lagos Island. That's why you saw those pumping stations there. So if they don't do that barricade at high tide, water will just naturally be flowing back from the lagoon, because like we've said before, significant part of Lagos is below the sea level. So when the water rises from the ocean, from the lagoon, it can flow back into the city. That's why you see the pumping. But the main observation today is that we're constructing a new 1 kilometer or 1.2 kilometer diversion from in front of the Ilubiri housing estate that will take, a bigger body of water onto the Lagos Lagoon. And that one, we're expecting 3 high capacity pumps that I'm told will be arriving next month. So the bed for the drainage is what we saw, and the construction is ongoing to be able to receive, the main pumps when they do arrive.
Mr. Governor's final stop was at the Lagos Island General Hospital in Marina, where the Lagos State government has carried out extensive rehabilitation of outdated facilities in phases.
Lagos Island General Hospital, Odon, which is the foremost general hospital in the state. This is a secondary health facility, and the hospital is as old as Lagos itself, and I'm sure you can see. But so what we're doing, and it's also the hospital that has, after LASUT, is one that has the largest number of patients coming in. And you can see from the last 3 years, we've been doing different phases of extensive renovation in the hospital, because it cannot be closed down. The hospital in itself cannot be closed down completely. So we need to, be very creative in how we measure, the renovation. I think the first phase was the accident emergency, the surgical emergency, the wards, and the training room, including the one that the foundation did for us, which will be a medical tourism. That's the first phase. The second phase is the pharmacy, the catering, and some other parts. I think the one we're watching now is the third phase, which has the high clinic, the admin building, the ambulance bay, the patients waiting area, and some of the wards, children's ward, surgical, male, female. And they are going to another phase, which will be the fourth phase, which will now be to take the final set of wards. Even in this last phase, pathology department is there. And so there's still going to be a few demolition that will happen in here, right? And to be able to receive, additional patients.
Governor Babajide SANWO-OLU has reiterated his commitment to complete the Red Line Rail projects by the first quarter of 2023. He made this known while on another round of inspection tour of the Red Line Rail construction, and we were there.
It is another round of inspection tours of the ongoing construction activities around the Lagos Rail Mass Transit Red Line project by Governor Babajide SANWO-OLU. It's the fourth time in a year the governor would be inspecting the pace of work on the 37-kilometer-long rail infrastructure wholly started by his administration. Governor SANWO-OLU assured Lagos residents that the rail project will be delivered on its scheduled completion date. The transport infrastructure being developed by the Lagos State Metropolitan Area Transport Authority, LAMATA, would have the capacity to transport more than 500,000 passengers daily when it becomes operational in the first quarter of 2023. The Red Line would traverse on the standard gauge from Agbado to Oyingbo in the first phase, while terminating at Ido in the second phase. It has 8 stations, and it is expected to reduce travel by more than 2 hours. Governor SANWO-OLU was joined on the project tour by the Deputy Governor, Obafemi Hamzat, and members of the cabinet. First stopped at the multi-level Agege terminal, where he inspected completion work on the facility. The Agege Red Line terminal shares the same yard with Babatunde Raji Fashola Station, built by the federal government, but stands about 300 meters apart. The governor also inspected the staff quarters built by the Lagos State government for the railway workers in employment by the federal government. Governor SANWO-OLU therefore led the team to the iconic Ikeja station of the Red Line, where 80% of the civil work had been completed. The governor also checked the progress of the overpass being constructed on the Awolowo Way axis to ensure non-interference of vehicular movement on the rail passageway. The governor stopped at Mushin Terminal to inspect the station and overpass, which stretches between Kayode and Ogumokun streets, before proceeding to Yaba and Oyingbo stations. After the exercise that lasted for 4 hours, Governor SANWO-OLU expressed satisfaction with the quality of the work done, disclosing that most of the difficult tasks had been completed. The entire construction, the governor said, has moved into the finishing phase, in which precast beams and other concrete fittings have been coupled to the constructed structures.
And at Agege station, we also have NRC station there. So that's where, when trains, if NRC is running and they are bringing passengers from Ibadan, that's the station in which they are going to come down if they want to join our own intra-city train services. And you can see that there's a connectivity between our own station in Agege and the NRC station in Agege. From Agege, we moved to Ikeja. Ikeja happens to be the iconic station on the Red Line. And you can see that that station is on a wide expanse of about 240 meters. In clear terms, that's the size of almost 3 football fields. We all saw it. And it's at roof level. It's going into completion. And all of the things, all of the furnitures that needs to make it a first-class train station, you can see that we're on track with it. After that, we went to inspect the overpass, which is the vehicular, the bridge from Awolowo Road onto Agege Motor Road, going towards Mongoro. You can also see that that bridge, which has two flanks, is a T bridge, right? It's on track. It's on the plan to be completed by the end of October. right? And you can see that, significant work has gone onto that bridge overpass. The overpass is really for the rail to be able to go underneath, right? From there, we all joined again and went to the Mushin station. Similarly, also at the Mushin station, you have a bridge that crosses from Kayode, the Unipan side, the Ikorodu Road side of the bridge onto the Ogumokun side, in Mushin, going towards Agege Motor Road. You could see that the bridge are out and it's on schedule. There were a few challenges in that area. There are 1 or 2 schools that we need to relocate, and there's a massive, regeneration that we plan for that whole place. You could see that on the rail track, there are several demolitions that has taken place. Government has paid extensive amount, far and over beyond what anybody could have expected on that entire. That's why we don't have any problem at all. And you also saw the station that's also going on there. So at Mushin, we have the bridge overpass. We also have the station there. So that makes the second bridge overpass.
To eliminate human interference with the rail corridor, the governor said the rail passageway will be walled off the residential areas. This, he said, would also prevent encroachment and unapproved commercial activities around the corridor.
If you reach Lagos, better life for Lagos, better hope for Lagos, oh, better day for Lagos, yeah. Reach Lagos, better life for Lagos, better hope for Lagos, better day for Lagos, yeah. Better Lagos, SANWO-OLU, oh SANWO-OLU, you want to speak Lagos, SANWO-OLU, oh SANWO-OLU, you want to better Lagos, SANWO-OLU, oh SANWO-OLU, you want to speak Lagos, SANWO-OLU, oh SANWO-OLU, yeah. Oh SANWO-OLU, oh SANWO-OLU, lovely, oh SANWO-OLU, oh SANWO-OLU, lovely, oh SANWO-OLU, oh SANWO-OLU, lovely.
Youths who are now interested in leather business or fabrics can now come and showcase their talents as a way of creating jobs for themselves. This is because the Lagos State government has said the ongoing construction of the Lagos State Leather Hub will create employment and equip artisans with infrastructure and equipment. Have a listen. The Lagos Leather Hub is considered to be the largest in Nigeria when completed. The project is sited at Ladipo Spare Parts Markets, Mushin. More than 1,000 youths will be trained at this one-stop leather hub in Lagos when completed. Governor SANWO-OLU said the industrial leather hub will boost employment, create a conducive working space, access to modern equipment for artisans.
We are here at Maturi Industrial Estate in Mushin, local government. This site, which is called the Lagos State Leather Hub Facility, this is a project that we conceived about 1.5 years ago, and you can see it's an hub. It's a leather hub where we want two things, right? Have a production line where people, can be trained in all forms of leather activity, leather products in general, right? From shoes to leather bags to belt, everything that has to do with tannery and leather. You've seen the factory that we have behind. More like training grounds. Up on this floor, on the second floor, they have
plans to be able to take about 100 students at once, where each one of them will have a small machine where they can learn from, and thereafter they can go into the hub and the factory itself if they have orders, and people that are into leather manufacturing already, they don't need to travel out of the country to make all of their leather finished products. And also we also have an opportunity for shops. There are about 42 or so lock-up shops that will be here selling leather-related accessories and leather-related goods, so that we can partner with other leather markets that are around Mushin here. And this place can indeed be a hub for them. They don't need to begin to crack their head on how they need to have equipment on an individual basis before they can get to their finished products. This hub will be available for them, for their use, and it's not only for one person, it will be for the entire ecosystem, of leather wool and leather accessories. And so I'm told that we're at about 60-65% level of completion. The contractor has committed to a December deadline, but we'll give him 1 or 2 months, grace, because we're expecting the equipment to start arriving from October, right? And so we should also be able to complete this before the end of our first tenure, of government in this administration.
The hub would also take other social activities. The governor also inspected a vehicle assembly plant at Ogba, where he said was projected to produce about 5,000 to 10,000 vehicles and train citizens in partnership with the Lagos State government.
One of the things we promised, Lagosians, that apart from our relationship with GAC Motors, that there's a partnership in which we wanted to set up a vehicle assembly plant. And you have all gone there. You've seen that the site is live. You've seen that equipment have started coming in. And you've seen that the place have been well prepared to receive the production, of vehicles. First, it will be SKD before they move to CKD. And you can see the entire lines are coming up very, very well. We're hoping that part of their first plan is to have a production that can do up to 5,000 vehicles, right? At the first instance, then now take it up to 10,000, right? And we're happy with the level of work. We're happy with the commitment of our partner, Messrs. GAC Motors. And we're happy that indeed we can begin to implement the plan. The plan is that we do not want to begin to buy fully built vehicles from them. We want to have an assembly line, and we want to have an opportunity where we can train, and employ our own citizens for a production line like that.
And that's a package on this episode of Inside Lagos. Many thanks for being a part of it. But before I go, I leave you with the words of Ebat Easton. The leader is one who out of clutter brings simplicity, out of discord, harmony, and out of difficulty, opportunity. I'm Adedoja Salam Adini. Thank you for being there. See you next time. Bye-bye.